Hey, I'm Rita.
And I'm Lee.
And welcome to the Me For Her podcast.
We are two gay girls living polar opposite lives on different sides of the country, here to talk shit and share with you our experiences between 20 and 30.
Welcome back to episode 37 of the Me For Her pod, where we are bringing back two of our favourite guests from last season, Fiona Falkiner and Hayley Willis. Welcome, guys.
Hey, lovely to be back.
For having us back.
You are 2+1 now, baby Hunter.
We are.
We are. We have a little +1.
We've got a third wheel. Doesn't pay rent.
Oh my gosh.
A little koala.
And it eats his fair share, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah. Doesn't pay bills, rent or anything, but he's lucky he's cute.
He's
He's
very
super cute. I can't get enough of him in your socials.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, someone sent me a photo the other day of, I've never watched The Incredibles, but someone sent me a photo of Jack. I think it's Jack from The Incredibles. And yeah, he looks just like him. It's because Hayley styles him with a little mohawk every bath time, and he comes out with this mohawk and it just stays.
I don't know how it stays, but it's great. It stays there all day.
If I bath him, he doesn't have a mohawk, but she...
Yeah, if you bath him, he has like a lame comb over. It's so lame.
The next time I stalk your socials, I'm going to be like, I know who bathed you last night, little man.
Yeah, 100%.
So how is life? How was the birth, Fee? How did it all go?
Oh my gosh, the birth was amazing. I actually...
you don't hear that very often either, I'm sure.
No, I mean, the pregnancy was tough, was pretty rough. Like, it wasn't that fun, but I really enjoyed my birth. It was, I mean, I had an epidural, so that probably helped. And take my hat off to any woman who does full natural labor, as it's called, I guess. It's, you got to do what you've got to do to get comfortably through it. I had 3 contractions. I was induced, so it was pretty full on intense. But 3 of those bad boys, and I was like, hook me up. And then it was a beautiful experience. I just had a beautiful labor all day. I labored all day
through your labor.
Are you serious?
Well, no, because you can't really feel lots. But it was from like 8 o'clock till 3 o'clock, and then they're like, okay, he's ready, and then I pushed him out in half an hour.
Like I was bored out of my brains because
she's like, I've watched 3 movies. Can we get this show moving? And I'm like,
it's like a long haul flight. Like, fuck, I'm getting restless now.
Seriously, I was like, calm down. Except one of the things because I had an epidural, I couldn't feel anything, and they numbed me up. Probably gave me a little bit too much because I was completely numb, like the dead meat.
Some serious rubbish.
No, I kept slipping down and I couldn't pull myself up again. And then Hayley walked past the bed and knocked my legs, and I literally basically slid off the bed, and I couldn't stop myself.
I didn't.
I was like, hey, stop! I'm going. I'm falling.
I didn't know I'd knocked your leg, and I was walking past, and then I just turned around because you were like, babe, like in your like semi-comatose state. And I looked, and your leg, you were kind of just like sliding off the bed, and I was like, shit! I was like, oh my god. Anyway, it was.
Did you save her? Did you hit the floor? What happened?
I thought she definitely didn't. She's like, nurse. Actually, several nurses. They needed 4 nurses to try and lift me.
Oh my god.
They did. They did. They called 4 nurses in because I was a dead weight. It was really
pretty weird. You are embarrassing. It is like you're a dead weight. Like I tried to lift her leg, and because she's like no feeling or anything, I was like, what the like? I was like, this is hard. Like,
yeah, it was pretty funny. But then he came out and pushed him out in half an hour, and he was just
half an hour. Jesus.
I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. The obstetrician was like, wow, you've set the bar really high for Hayley. You just breathed him out. That was amazing. I was like, you made me feel so
I don't know. I was like, can we not just side with Fiona for the labour side of things? I mean, because she was like, oh, you're going to have to do a hell of a lot better if you're going to beat this labour. This birth. And I was like, all right.
Because obviously everything with us is a competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, I remember you saying in the last episode we did, you guys are super competitive.
Well, Fiona claims I'm competitive, but I swear you're competitive as well.
I'm not. I'm really not. You are. Just you make everything a competition. I'm like,
it is a competition.
Honey, you can win.
I'm gonna birth it in 15 minutes.
All right. It's okay.
No, you should do it in 29 and a half just to make her feel a bit better,
Yeah,
close the gap.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Oh gosh, I can't believe our last episode was in February. So that was like right before, or a couple weeks, couple of months. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Right before I was going to give birth.
Yeah, it was.
So
you were pretty good, and you told us about how you had some difficulties and discomfort in your pregnancy and pain, and Lee was relating. Yeah, just a couple, right?
You can complain, seriously. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. After the birth and after we'd like met him and had some time, and then they took him away to do some tests and stuff, and I hopped off the birthing bed. I'm not kidding. I was like, I have never felt so good. I was like, I could dance, I could cartwheel,
so bizarre.
because I literally hobbled into hospital. I was in so much pain, my back, everything. And then once he was out, I was like, I'm back, baby. It was great.
That is awesome.
I actually remember looking up and you were like, I honestly could do a dance right now. My back isn't in pain.
That said, I was probably still high from the drug.
Now that's all making sense.
Yeah.
But I felt really good.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a beautiful birth. Very nice birth.
I got to pull him out, which was really nice.
You did? How did that even work?
Well, I didn't know it was going to happen. The obstetrician was like, well, his little head was kind of out and he was like blowing bubbles and stuff. And they were like, okay, they're like, we'll get a mirror to show you. And I was like, no, like, I just need to focus on pushing and then the obstetrician was just like, because we videoed it. So the only reason I know this is because like I've watched it.
You've seen it.
Yeah. And she's like, here, quick, give me your legs. So give me your hands. And she just grabbed my hands between my legs and just literally she kind of guided him out, but like I was holding him and then lifted him onto me. It was just like incredible. Like
oh my God.
The most beautiful thing I think ever. I don't want to cry. I'm pretty emotional, but
that's wonderful.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
What about for you, Hayley? Lee mentioned that with her first birth with Oak, Taylor almost said that it was harder for the non-carrying parent to watch. But I guess you had a really good experience, so maybe not. I mean,
I can understand where she's coming from, though, because when Fee hadn't had the epidural, when she didn't have any drugs, they...
sound like such a druggie. Oh God!
Like just before the epidural guy came in to give you the needle, and like I saw even after the first 3 contractions that she'd had how much pain she was in, and then for him to then put a needle into the spine or whatever, and I just remember that was pain brutal on Fiona's face when that needle was going in. Like it took everything in me not to cry with her, because I like seeing your partner go through that kind of pain.
Oh my God.
Awful. And she was, because all you can really do is suck on the gas and hope that and they try and they numb it up a little bit, but it's still like I
still remember just staring into your eyes and you were like, breathe, and I was just like save me, because he was wailing, he was back there like fiddling around in my spine, like he couldn't get it in the right position, and they're like,
oh my God.
And I was like, bubbles were coming out my nose. Like I was just making, it was the worst. That was the worst thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. So I can totally understand, like, if Fiona had gone and proceeded to have natural, no drugs, I can't imagine how strong, like, I don't know how strong I would have been, because just even like watching her go through that pain, the initial, and that was, 5-10 minutes of that, I was like, far out, this is full on. So, I was so glad that she got to rest through the contractions and through the gradual dilation and all that sort of stuff until she got to the 10 centimeters, and then she had saved the energy to push, and which she was able to do within the sort of 40 minutes or so, half an hour, whatever it was.
Half an hour, yes. Half an hour.
All right, half an hour.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. So, yeah, I can totally respect that like as a partner watching your partner go through that pain, it is like it's a lot to see, but it's incredible once they get to the end of it. Like you've got your beautiful son or daughter, or and you just think, like it's completely wiped. You're just too obsessed with the little creation you've got in front of you.
That's so beautiful, guys. That's all. And I'm so glad that you had a great birth experience, given what you went through in your pregnancy, right? Because it's sort of like a minor silver lining, right?
Literally, it was just like, oh my gosh, this was, I would love to give birth to more babies, just not carry them.
kind of part of the job.
That's too funny. And what was it like for you guys taking Hunter home? Were you like, holy shit, what do we do with this baby? Like,
yeah, we were like, how do we get him in the baby seat?
We couldn't know how to get him in the baby
Oh
seat.
my God.
That was pretty funny.
And then you're in the car and you're both so tired. Like the first few days, the first couple of months, like you're just not sleeping. And we're in the car and I was just like,
you sat in the back and I drove. Because I remember I said sit with him.
You may have ran a red
light. I 100%
You ran a red light. I nearly died. I was like, that was red. I know. And I'm like, fuck. It's like it was the most terrifying. I was like, fuck, do I need to drive? Like, what is going on?
Probably should have. I was so deliriously tired.
Oh my God, that is too funny.
And I was like, shouldn't you be being particularly more careful because we have such precious cargo? Instead, you lead footed through a
I didn't lead foot. I literally just was so tired.
You just missed it.
Didn't even see the light. And I just remember looking and this, like, I don't know who was in the other car because they were coming as if they were going to T-bone us kind of thing. And and they slammed on their brakes and I kind of just looked and I was in like a state of shock that I'd just gone through a red light. And I was like, oh my God. And then Fiona's in the back. She's like, was that a red light? I was like, 100%. Yep. That was 100% a red light.
I was like, I can't yell at you right now because you have to get us safely home. So I was just like, do you want me to drive? Like, what can I do to make this better?
Yeah.
I am 100% sure you guys are not the only ones who did that. Like, given that, parents would be super tired and like almost super concentrating. I mean, I don't know what you were doing, but I'm sure you're not the only one. So please don't feel bad.
I was trying to, I guess I was just so exhausted. Like we had spent 5 nights in the hospital and
it's the weirdest thing coming out of the hospital. Like it was just the weirdest thing.
You're in a bubble.
You're in this warm, cozy bubble with all this help and then you're like smushed out into the cold world. Like, off you go. Good luck. And you're like, oh my God, we're going to keep this thing alive.
Anyway, and you've obviously done a good job in that because I see you're loving life with little H. How's he going now? What's life like with him now?
He's amazing.
He's great. Oh my God. We're really, he's such a good bub, honestly. You try not to tell too many people this, especially other mums, but he's been sleeping through the night pretty much for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Like it's unheard of. We do a dream feed, but he sleeps through. Like it's incredible.
We're very lucky.
So lucky. I don't know how.
I think, look, we're by no means pros, but we did from the outset like implement a relatively strict like sleep schedule.
Yeah. So, like bedtime routine and all
like
that.
Like a bedtime routine. So it's never really wavered. So I think he's just found his rhythm and he goes down at 6, we dream feed him, which he completely sleeps through. Like he barely wakes at 9:30 and then he gets up at 7 and it's incredible. Like we get a great night's sleep. It's like we are so lucky and we did not take it for granted because Fiona's in a mother's group and she knows full well that a lot of her mums in the mother's group
still some babies are still waking up 3-4 times a night. I was like, wow, that would be so hard.
I think we've just got a miracle number 1 bub, and then obviously the
number 2 is going to be questionable.
Number 2 is going to be like some demon child that never.
Hey, you never know. You absolutely never know. But I guess is that the plan? Hayley, are you going to go next? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So we postponed our wedding this year. So like the plan was for me to go straight after the wedding. And I guess the plan is still at this stage to start trying and sort of at the end of this year. and I guess now that the wedding's been postponed again with all the COVID stuff, it's a little bit less stressful to deal with. But we also are house hunting, and given the market is ridiculous in Sydney, whether we can afford a number 2 is another question.
/ number 3.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We'll start with 1 and see how we go. But yeah, look, it's definitely like it's on the cards. We're hoping that we can still sort of keep to the, we want to have bubs close together so you can kind of get the sleepless nights out of the way.
Yeah.
But we've got to go through all the tests to make sure I'm okay and everything. The oven's all good to go and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it would be ideally if we could start trying sooner rather than later, and then hopefully have another bub. But we'll see how we go. I mean, who knows? At the rate the housing market's going over here, we might be in a tent. So yeah.
Didn't you guys just quarantine? So I'm sure you're well accustomed to a small, tiny, cozy. So what happened? You guys came to Melbourne, right?
Yeah. So my job, I work for the Sydney Swans now, and the AFL was sent into a bit of chaos, I guess. Players had to move to Queensland, Victoria, and all the rest of it. So to keep the game alive, the players were moved to Victoria, then to Queensland, and then back to Victoria. So, but while they were in Queensland, we got the approval for myself and partners and players' partners to all join the hub. So, it meant 2 weeks of quarantine in a hotel room, which, I sat down with Fee and said, this is, I don't want to leave her and Hunter, so would she be willing to come with me? And, the Sydney Swans are incredible. They've, the fact that I could take Fee and Hunter was the option to have that was,
that's amazing.
So brilliant. So,
and we didn't want to be apart from you for potentially 10 weeks or something?
Of course.
It could have been up to that. So, so we did the hotel quarantine in Brisbane with, look, it's not fun.
It actually, honestly, for me, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because
I think you go in with very low expectations because you're locked in a room.
I mean, I looked at it as a time in our lives where we would never have gotten an opportunity like that to just really have nothing else to do but to just focus on Hunter and just spend loads of time with him. Like, he was just undivided attention the entire time.
He was probably over us by the end of it.
So it's just I don't know, it was just I just tried to look at it in a positive way that it was just a time for us to just spend a lot of time together as a family, and it was kind of nice. We were lucky we got to take Hunter in, and if you were doing it alone, I think it would be quite a different experience.
Be tough. But you had each other.
We had each other, and the only problem was Hunter's a bit of a vomiter, and he literally vomited over every surface, and there was no windows. So the whole
no fresh air,
parmesan cheese.
No fresh air. And you know what? It's weird. I've never realized how much I love fresh air. Until now.
Yeah.
And it was, and I almost sent the hotel into lockdown because I ordered, didn't even think about it, but I ordered a candle to make our
room smell good.
And I didn't realize that we couldn't have an open flame in the hotel. So the poor medical staff, because they check your Woolies orders and everything that come in to make sure you're not, I don't know, trying to order things to break out or whatever. And they checked my Woolies order and they're on the phone like, you've ordered candle and matches. You realize you can't have a flame.
And she's like, you'll get fined $5,000 or something. And here's Hayley sitting in the bathroom with the bath with the candle going. I'm like, babe, put the candle out. She's like, it's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. I'm not getting fined for you to enjoy a candle in the bath.
Well, I was so over our place.
That is hilarious.
Parmesan cheese,
you were probably just you want some entertainment, like the flame, that's how desperate you were getting.
I was so desperate for just some sort of scent other than the cheesy vomit smell that stunk. Anyway,
we worked out every day as well, which I think really helped us.
Yeah.
We trained it was every day bar 3 days, and they were the days where I battled, but
it
was good.
It was good. We got
That's amazing. Well, like I said off air, my new girlfriend, Swan Supporter, so she'll be very happy to hear that. And all of her friends, also Swan Supporters, so they'll be all about that.
I love that. I love that's amazing. Because you're in Western Australia, aren't you?
Lee's in
Oh, no,
WA.
Lee's
I'm
WA.
Melbourne. Yeah.
Hang on a sec. We're just checking if that's Hunter.
No worries.
I think it is.
I don't think it is.
Making a cameo on the pod.
Oh, no.
I think it's fast asleep. What are you talking about?
I heard. Oh, it might be the people downstairs.
Oh,
They're new
yeah.
blood.
They're right.
We've got new neighbours with the baby.
Sorry.
I'm so in tune to like
You're
the
just
banging,
like,
crying baby.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, baby. That's too funny.
Yeah,
What
that's
would-
awesome that they're Swan Supporters though. That's great.
Absolutely. As soon as we're back able to travel and
Come to a few
come to a
games.
game, we'll definitely hit you up. We'll have to watch together.
Absolutely, for sure.
you get tickets and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Look
Hit
out.
me up. Hit me
Mates
up. for
rates.
sure. Exactly. Absolutely. Happy to help.
Nah, that's awesome. Hey guys, what's the funniest thing about being parents?
What is the funniest thing about being parents?
Like,
Well-
surely you've had like a literal shitstorm in a nappy, or like,
Oh yeah. 100%.
Oh, he has blowouts constantly.
Well, we realized pretty quickly though, because I think the nappies were too
Yeah,
small.
you've got to kind of upsize a bit in the nappy department. That's like a word
Okay.
of advice to new mums. Like,
yep.
even if you just do it at night time, just because if they have a big blowout overnight
Mm-hmm.
and they're wriggling around in it, it catches it better.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
fun fact, after breastfeeding, I now have to actually lift my boobs up to dry underneath them. Never had to do that prior to breastfeeding.
You're so sexy.
I just got an image that I can't
Yeah.
unsee. I'm sorry, Fee.
I am the luckiest girl in the
Oh,
world.
you are, dear. You know it.
I don't know what else. I think probably. I mean, one of the funnier things was just that he wheezes at any moment in time. So
Oh, and you won't even know. You just feel some warmth, and you're like, "What's that?" And you look down, and he's just like, "Beer."
like he's weighed on my t-shirt, my pants, like just when during changing nappies. You think you're quick? No, just go.
No.
There's days where he will have weed on me, I'll have poo on me, and he'll vomit on me, and that's just like pretty standard day.
We just keep the clothes.
Triple
we don't even
threat.
change.
Literally, he vomits so much that you will put something. Hayley will come out wearing something. I'm like, you've got vomit down your back or down your leg, and you won't even know because he just does these sneaky spews all the time, and he just and it's everywhere.
Yeah. I think
Sounds like
that's
a clever one.
probably, yeah, that's probably definitely, yeah, it's always the nappy fun that usually gives up the crazy stuff with Bubs, I think. I don't know much else at the moment. He's sort of still a bit of a blob, but he's getting there.
Is he turning over?
Yes, we actually achieved that during quarantine. So
Hayley,
it was a huge result.
So it's once again Hayley being very competitive. All the mums in my mum's group were on a chat, and they were all sending videos of their Bubs either sitting up or rolling over. And Hunter's wasn't there yet with either of that. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that's it.
He's broken.
I thought he's gonna get him rolling." And I was like, I'm in no rush for him to roll because like when they roll, you can't swaddle them anymore in bed, and it's just like all this extra stuff. And the second they start moving around, it just changes the game. But like one day
I was not having him be last in the class. It was never going to happen. I was determined to make him roll, and I made him roll.
You did.
I got it.
So I'm sure that's a new lockdown hobby or quarantine.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely something to do during quarantine. I was just determined to get him to roll. I was like, "You've got this." Like he just kept doing like this really weird position where he'd like seal himself. I don't know,
like a little Spider-Man
like a
seal.
Spider-Man.
I don't know.
I don't know. He just wouldn't let his arms touch the ground. Like, mate, you've got this. Come on. So he did get there eventually. It just took a little longer than expected.
That is awesome. No rush, right? That's cool.
No.
Now, obviously, next time Hayley, you're up, or that's the plan at this point in time.
Yeah.
Would you guys do anything differently with the process next time around?
I don't think so. Would you? What do you reckon?
What are we going to do? I don't even know. We haven't really discussed this, but are we going to do
groundbreaking
IUI?
stuff, guys?
There you go. We're going to do IUI with you, or are we going to go full IVF? Or I think Hayley just believes her. What have you said before? I'll be a one-shot wonder. Just chuck some I'm going to get pregnant. She's very confident in her fertility prowess.
She's not competitive at all, right? It's just coming out now.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, I'll just keep saying it out loud and then it'll happen just straight away. But
hell yeah.
I guess I will probably do IVF just because you only have a limited amount of like sperm. So, and we used a little bit with fees, so you kind of are just conscious of that. So
yeah, and I mean,
how much do you get? How much sperm do you get? Genuine question. Like enough for like X tries, like 4?
Yeah, they kind of.
Well, everything you do uses different amounts. So like
okay.
IUIs.
I think IUIs use 2 straws.
We are making this up. We're not. This is not. That's we don't know for certain.
We left
yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I
think
think we've got 4 straws left or something like that.
But then so in my head I'm like, well, we may as well just do IVF because then you get. It's more likely that you'll
higher
get
success rate.
Higher success
and also
rate.
we might get an extra embryo which we can pop in the freezer for a later date.
Yeah,
got you. So cool.
It's sort of we've got to have the consult and things like that and get all the tests done and things. It's still very early days, but yeah, it's like you kind of just have to put your faith in the scientists and the fertility specialists to do what's best for your body. So
that said, Hayley was saying the other day she's determined that we're going to have twins. I was like, do not put that out there to the universe. I'm not ready for twins. I want twins
because then you get 2 and 3.
I literally want twins too, so I'm on your side with this,
Hayley.
Yeah,
my God.
I'm like, you get it done and dusted.
No, it's just too much too soon.
It's like 9 months of pregnancy. It's half the labour for twice the result. It's great.
Hey, there you go. Now you're talking.
But to me, it just seems like a great idea.
But you've only got one set of hands each, right? So that would be tricky. Like if it was first time round, I think it would be okay. Yeah. But second, like now that you've got Hunter, that would be a juggling act, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I just think it would be really tricky.
Yeah, it would be. But I'm still up for it.
Take my hat off to women, mums and dads that do it. Like, so good. But I just think it would be really tough.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm keen to. I'm on your side with this. My girlfriend, I'm not so sure, but
You're 6 weeks in, you're talking soon.
Absolutely. Well, that brings me to my next question. Just kidding. I'm asking this next one for a friend, but like, okay, so I know on your potty you guys talked about the whole let's be on the same private health insurance fund so that we can get fertility reimbursement. So how does that work? Because being in a new relationship, thinking of kids down the track, nowhere anytime soon, but in a few years' time, is it actually beneficial to do that? Do you actually get
Yeah.
And you've got to. I mean, for most health funds, it's a 12-month wait list. Yeah. So like, the worst that can happen is you break up and you just have to separate your
health funds.
Health fund.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hayley did that so early on, like.
I mean,
really,
classic me, really, just 0 to 100.
Like, I mean, I obviously said I love you within a week, but I mean, I feel like that was
right. That's it. We're joining health funds.
I think we did have the conversation about kids, because I was gonna go it alone.
Do it yourself.
Anyway.
I know.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it came up, and then it was like in the first month, you definitely you were like, well, look, if we're going to be doing this. Mm-hmm. This will be worthwhile in the long run. Yeah. And then you put you should chuck our name down on a donor list as well, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. And I'm glad.
I'm glad you did, because it was like a 9-month wait anyway.
There's a sperm shortage in Australia, FYI.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad idea.
We've got friends going it, solo, and they're like, their options are more limited probably than what we had, and it's just like. It's hard because I'm like, basically, I'm always encouraging, friends or whoever, definitely consider donating. Like down the track, I've always considered donating my eggs, if I don't use them all and all that kind of thing. So if people can and are willing to donate, then it just would be so good, because I don't know, there's a lot of amazing mums out there that would love to have families. A lot of amazing women, I should say, that love to be mums and have families, and there's such a sperm shortage. But I mean, I guess you can do the overseas option too, which is becoming more available.
I think it's just expensive. I think
that's what I was going to say. I've the perception that I've found is that it's more expensive, and I don't know why, but that's just what I've heard.
I think my friend said the other day that she was going to looking into the Californian cryo bank, and it was like 10 grand or something.
Oh, that's not. Well, is that just to get like a shipment over?
Is a sperm made of gold?
I don't know.
You would think. It's actually pretty fascinating.
I mean, if I was to choose, like, I'd go, anyway.
Well, if we were to do it again, like, and there wasn't...
There's a potential we'll have to go for another dib, potentially.
Because if you use your sticks of sperm, whatever you called, what did you call them?
The straws.
They're called straws.
Yeah. So if you use the amount of straws that you currently have of your current sperm, that's it. You have no access to that current. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we'll probably just get another donor. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's...
I mean, in a,
perfect world,
we'll have our kids biologically related, but we're going to love them all the same. So
exactly.
Yeah. We'll do whatever it takes. But hopefully, we can keep the same donor for all kids.
But I feel like I just want to put this to you. Like, don't put that pressure on yourself.
Oh,
like, when you start doing
competitive pressure, like
when you start the process, like, and I've lost my earpiece. When you start the process, like, you put a lot of pressure on yourself anyway to fall, and I feel like that's just adding extra pressure and stress and anxiety, which is really detrimental to fertility. So yes, it doesn't matter. We will work it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
it's always fine.
Yeah.
Well, knowing everything that you know, would you have any advice for anyone looking to start a family together in the coming years?
I think, certainly save your pennies because it's not cheap.
Even with private health insurance? Because we looked at that cover, that top level cover. Just kidding. No, we didn't. Not talking about me and my girlfriend. It's not cheap, right? So, like, you have to know that you're doing it if you're going to invest, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, you'd want to believe in your relationship before. Like, it's not, because you're paying $450, $500 a month between the two of you. For your cover. But in the long run, like, and particularly because we went, this is not even sponsored, but we went with HCF, who have in Sydney what's called a swaddle program, which is, you go, that absolutely 100% is covered in terms of from the day that you fall pregnant to the day you give birth, all your appointments, all your checkups,
scans, and the scans are like $500 a pop, so all your scans are covered. You get all the hospital, the obstetrician,
everything.
Like 5 nights in the hospital, and the hospital was really amazing.
It was at Sydney Adventist Hospital in Sydney. So, there might be. I think it's probably one of the first of its kind in Australia to do that. But even with your private health cover, and if you're not with HCF or whoever, you still get a significant amount covered. So it is worth it.
Yep.
Like, I think it's worth it, particularly because if you go, you're getting private, you can stay at the hospital, and those first few days are pretty full on. So to have that help, particularly
we have the midwives, like we just had midwives there,
like we have no
every step of the way, which was amazing. I mean, we still don't know what we're doing. We're just winging it.
Every day's a guessing game. So
that's parenting, right?
Yeah. So I think, definitely, I'm all for the health fund and save your money and I think brace yourself for it because it can be a long journey.
Yeah, that's the thing. From the moment you start, like that first appointment, it could be a few years. So if you're thinking about it, like, I'd get the ball rolling sooner rather than later because it can really take a lot of time.
Gotcha. Cool. And last question, guys. I really want to know because I'm a big fan. Is the podcast coming back?
Yeah, well, I think it should.
100%. Like, we would love it to. We're just trying to figure out
time.
Unfortunately, our producer has a bubby on the way himself.
Yeah.
And he also changed jobs.
And just it's just not, he can't do it for us anymore. So
we love producer Sam and can't wait for him to start a family though. So but
very cute.
We will
we're trying to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah. And in a way that we can somehow squeeze it in without having Hunter screaming in the background. It's a bit tricky, but I'm all for it because I think it's like, everyone's journey is different. My journey will be different to Fiona's in a sense.
Exactly.
Like how it affects me, how I go and all that. So you know, I'm really keen to do a season 2, you know, and hopefully we can do that. So we're just got to, you know, work out, you know, getting a producer and getting all that done, and then we'll get the ball rolling.
Sounds awesome. Well, the queer community is behind you. We can't wait. We got so much positive feedback from your last episode, guys. So,
really?
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah,
So nice.
people love you guys. Totally.
We love them right back. I love the LGBT community. Makes me
don't
feel
they
warm
just
and
rock?
fuzzy.
I
They
know.
do just rock.
I know.
It was actually really like, so we had, for the Swans, we had our first, like our Pride Guernsey, and I was just I was like bursting with pride, like, and it was such a shame because there was no crowd. So I literally I wore the brightest rainbow socks, and I was like, and I even got myself a Pride Guernsey. And
but do you know what they got us to do? So they asked Hayley in the hub in Melbourne. They asked Hayley to get up and say some words before the Pride game to all the players and their families on just what it means to her for them to play, because a lot of these players wear the Guernsey, wear the thing, and they don't really know. They're like, oh yeah, whatever. It's just this kind of game.
No, they're not like whatever. It's like, I feel like it's hard for someone to understand what it means to the LGBTQI plus community running out in a Pride Guernsey when they're not in that community. But
so true.
They know it's important. They just don't know the extent of how important it is. And so,
so she told me what she was going to say in our hotel room, and she's like, and I want you and Hunter to stand next to me. And I started crying when she was saying it. And I'm like, I can't stand up in front of everyone and have you say that. I am going to sob.
I mean, it all started because I said to my boss, oh, look, sorry. It all started because I said to my boss, you know, I just want to say thanks to the players for pulling on the Pride Guernsey. I don't know if they know what it means, but it means a lot. And then that kind of snowballed into, well, do you want to do it at Captain's Run? And then we completely forgot about it at Captain's Run because we were busy. And then next thing he's like, oh, do you want to do it in front of the families and players at dinner tonight? And I was like, okay, so that's triple the size of the amount of people that I was planning on saying thank you to, but sure. Yeah. And then, I mean, look, I was so proud to just say thank you and just let them know what it meant to us and the community that, you know, often doesn't feel seen or don't feel like their voices are heard, and just to feel like everyone was welcome. Everyone is welcome at the footy. Doesn't matter, you know, what letter you are in the community. It's just, and I guess it was a really nice way to just let them know how important that is for us as part of that community. So it was really nice, and it just goes to show, like, I mean, the Swans particularly, like, you know, it's weird because I've only been there a year, but I have never fallen more in love with a job, and I've loved all my jobs.
Wow.
I've felt so incredibly included in this environment. Like, it's just they're a great club to work for, and they've been amazing, particularly with Hunter and family stuff. So it's been incredible, and I love our LGBTQI plus community. It's a special community and a privilege to be part of it. So
agreed.
100%. Well, you've really sold me on the Swans, guys. So I'm pretty much one foot over in that camp.
I'll let membership team know they've got someone.
Yeah, happy wife, happy life, right? That's what they say.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Indeed, that is correct.
Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, well, guys, it's been awesome to chat and catch up and hear all about your journey with little Hunter. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And we hope to have you for a reunion, maybe when, you know, the next one of you is pregnant.
I know.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait. We'll just keep catching up every time we have a baby. So hopefully it's only a couple of
Well, yeah, who knows? You might be next. You never know.
Hey,
you never know.
Note to self, HCF, call tomorrow.
Membership call tomorrow. You've got to keep these on.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for jumping on, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode of the Me for Her pod. Make sure you follow us and Fiona and Hayley on Instagram. Our handle is @MeForHerPod. And listen, follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week. Love you. Bye.